Welcome back to Cocktails and Classics. This week we did Tropic Thunder, 2008 satirical comedy.
Hey.
I'm Dylan, and joining me this week are Ben and Zach. Oh, no. Hi! To kick things off, there it is.
Hello there.
To kick things off and get everything in the right mood, we're going to go to this week's cocktail, the Tropic Thunder. That's right. Just naming drinks after things. I don't know if this one's actually named after the movie, though. It was named Tropic Thunder because of the assault that is going to be on your mouth, getting you ready for what's coming. It's an ounce and a half of dry gin, 3/4 of an ounce of creme de peach, which I just used like peach schnapps, half fluid ounce of lemon juice, and a fluid ounce of pineapple juice. And then you garnish that with cracked black pepper. Serve it up in a coupe glass. It's, it's interesting.
Peppery?
I feel like
peppery?
I feel like the creme de peach would probably be better, because just using.
Oh yeah, I'm just using like DeKuipers or whatever.
I just think one. I don't know about yours, but mine just feels very peach. Dry. I have a lot of peach taste, but it's just very the dryness of the gin comes through a lot.
Interesting. I don't have that as much because of the pineapple and I used the really cheap peach stuff, so it's pretty sugary. But it's weird. I feel like I personally haven't had many gin cocktails that also have citrus fruits besides lemon and lime. So pineapple and gin is a pretty interesting combo. I don't hate it.
Like I said, I don't dislike it. It seems dry. It doesn't feel like it's not something I could pound, which is good because that much sugar from the pineapple juice would make me sick.
It's kind of exactly what you would expect. And the pepper, I don't think adds that much. Maybe I needed to add more. But it's kind of just
pepper.
It's kind of just a little spicy kick at the end. But check the show notes below. Make yourself a Tropic Thunder. Use the Drizzly links. Get some alcohol delivered to you if you are in the area that they service. And we get a little kickback from that. Send us pictures of your Tropic Thunder at Cocktails and Classics Pod on Instagram. And let us know, do our cocktail choices suck and what movies you want us to see. And we're about to spoil the cheese out of Tropic Thunder. It's available on Amazon Prime Video right now. So check it out if you want to watch along. Tropic Thunder is a 2008. It's an action comedy, war comedy, I guess. Satirizes the film industry. It's the story of, through a series of freak occurrences, a group of actors shooting a big budget war movie are forced to become the soldiers they're portraying. It's directed by Ben Stiller, written by Justin Theroux, Ben Stiller, and Ethan Cohen. It stars Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr., Jay Baruchel, Brandon T. Jackson, Steve Coogan, Bill Hader's in there, Tom Cruise, Danny McBride, Nick Nolte, literally everyone.
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
How could you forget the pecker?
Is this the beginning of the McConaissance? Because, I think the next movie he did after this was, Lincoln Lawyer, or he might have done one more, romantic comedy before this. But.
Yeah, I don't know. This was, if you want to put this in the McConaissance, I guess you could. I don't know that I would, but
it's definitely different than the other movies I think he did up until this point.
Oh,
I guess Dazed and Confused, but
well, yeah, but Dazed and Confused had been 20 years before this movie was made, maybe longer.
No, it was 12.
Oh shit. It's one of those things where I'm thinking that time is so much longer than it is. Yeah, 20 years would be 88. I know it's not
the 90s were either 30 years ago or
it's
yesterday.
It's 93.
Yeah,
so
right?
It's 15 years. 15 years.
15.
Early.
Okay.
Coming into this movie for the first time, the thing that just shocked me was the onslaught of hilarious cameos, I guess, side parts that these actors like a Bill Hader just shows up, or even Bradley Cooper is wearing a bald cap. Utterly hilarious. Nick Nolte's in the movie.
Do you mean
I was
Tom
shocked.
Cruise?
I think he means Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah. I was like, where
Nolte's
the
in the
fuck was Bradley Cooper?
Not Bradley Cooper. He's not in the movie.
Wait, that wasn't Bradley Cooper?
That was Tom Cruise. You're talking about the The like.
I
executive.
will literally fuck your face.
That's
that was Tom Cruise.
Oh, I thought that was Bradley Cooper.
No.
100% thought that was Bradley Cooper.
What's his? Is it Danny McBride?
Yeah.
The explosions guy.
The explosives guy.
I'm gonna move to catering after this.
All right, look, I didn't want to say this, but I almost got fired.
Man, what? So you're like the onslaught of like cameos. They're not even like cameos though, because they're like honestly just like parts, because they like keep coming back to them.
Yeah.
But what about the like fake trailers, and then the huge like mislead where it like starts out like an actual war movie, and then just is like it pans over and like shows all the cameras, and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I caught on once we got to like the fart family or whatever they were called.
Yeah.
Or I mean, maybe it was Ben. What's the name of Ben Stiller's like
Scorcher?
Scorcher, yeah, Scorcher. When we got to Scorcher 3, it's like he had to save the world again,
and no one saw it
like a
coming
baby
for the next 3 times. And then in the last one, there's back. 2 babies, and it's everything's
it's
freezing
cold
over.
instead. Yeah.
Scorcher 6, global meltdown. Yeah, I thought
my
that was
favorite
great.
My favorite is Satan's Alley, and it's like 5-time Academy Award winner Kirk Lazarus and MTV Best Kiss winner Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I was never really sure when the movie was beginning, and then once I saw like Ben Stiller reenacting Platoon, which spoilers if you haven't seen Platoon, I guess. Then I sort of figured it out. I'm like, okay, we're in the movie now.
Oh my god, yeah, this is one I don't think it could be made today. Obviously, for Robert Downey Jr.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised he did not catch more back. Like, still like in today's age, that no one goes and is like, can we talk about Robert Downey Jr.'s whole like blackface thing? Which, and I get he's doing it like in a way to make fun of people who do it, but I'm still just shocked that like.
I mean, he almost won Best Supporting Actor that year.
Like, it's legitimately insane that happened in the same year that he was Iron Man.
Yeah. I think maybe that's what it was. Is Iron Man came out and that
everyone was like,
Tropic Thunder.
oh man, Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man is so good. And then people were like, wait, wasn't he also in blackface? Shut up, he's Iron Man.
God. Marvel must have been like buttholes puckered so tight when they saw Tropic Thunder. Like, oh my god, we're gonna have to get a new fucking Iron Man. We just put together this 40 movie run, and now I got to replace the main guy.
I would be interested to hear somebody's take on it, because like, yes, it's not okay, but I'm wondering how someone would react. Because it is satirical. Like, they're poking fun at the movie industry, and
it's interesting to me. It's in the same sense, in a way that behind the scenes, for anyone listening, we've talked about doing Blazing Saddles. I feel like for months, and every time it comes up, we're like, no, we can't. But I feel like this movie does blackface in the same way that Blazing Saddles talks about race, which is like, we're not making fun of the actual like black community. We're making fun of the people who make fun of the black community.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing this in a way to, like, mock the people who think this is okay, or the people who think, in terms of Blazing Saddles, like, no, we're making the people who were ignorant and racist, they're the idiots. Like, that's the whole point of the joke. So I wonder if this just kind of skirts by as one of those things where, like, yeah, he's playing a character in blackface, but the entire movie they're making fun of the fact that he's in blackface.
Yeah, and then even Al Pacino is
hell of a name, by the way.
And why am I in this movie? Maybe I just knew I had to represent. Because they had one good part in here for a black man, they gave it to Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where it's satirical, but it's such a touchy subject that it has to be done perfectly, or otherwise it can go south really quickly, even though you had good intentions.
Yeah.
I'm also just surprised at how many uses of the hard... not
hard R for 2008.
The R word in 2008.
I was going to say, like, this is perfect time for that one.
Oh, I feel like
it's tail end.
It's towards the tail end of when it would have been socially acceptable to use it, and they went ham.
Well, I
They
did
went
see that
full-
Eaton Cohen has another movie that is called, or like a short film or something that he wrote that is called like My Wife is the R Word. And I'm like, that's yeah, maybe that's why they use it so much in this movie.
Yeah, that one kind of caught me. Even though I knew it was in the movie, because you've heard, especially at our age, growing up, you heard people quote that line so often. You know, never go full.
Put yourself in my shoes. This was the first time that I have seen Tropic Thunder, and it's halfway through 2021.
Oh, don't worry, Zach.
I still grew up with people quoting the movie the whole time, but I thought they were just saying things. I didn't understand that it was from a movie.
Don't worry, Zach.
It's like, what odd advice.
I can also put myself in your shoes because I'm right there with you.
Oh, you've never seen this before either?
I feel like I've heard people quote it, and I've seen like a clip or two, but I've never watched the whole. I've never watched the movie.
Yeah, the one that I knew was from this movie was "What do you mean, you people?" When it's Al Pacino talking to is it Kirk Lazarus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.'s character. They have that whole like, listen, man, people use that word to put our people down forever, and it's like, dude, you're a blonde Australian man.
For 400 years, that word has kept us down.
What the fuck?
Took a whole lot of time just to get up that hill. Now we up in the big leagues. Cannot turn it back. Long as we live, it's you and me, baby.
That's the theme song for the Jeffersons.
Yeah, that's the theme song to the Jeffersons. That don't mean it's not true.
This movie is pretty wild, though, if you were to describe it. I remember playing Xbox with Dylan a few months back, and he's like, yeah, you know Tropic Thunder? And I'm like, no, I haven't seen it. He's like, of course you have, where Robert Downey Jr.'s character has that, like, surgery where he, like, darkens his skin complexion for a role. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. You completely lost me. What happens?
Apparently, if you watch the DVD commentary, that Robert Downey Jr. is in character. So, like, when he says that quote...
Man, I don't drop character till I done the DVD commentary.
You can, like, listen, and he's in that character. They also made some side documentary, like, mockumentary piece where it's, like, him getting into the role and stuff.
Oh, my God.
It's called, like, Reign of Madness or something. It's, like, 20 minutes. It's wild.
Oh, Jesus.
What did you guys think of your first viewing? Having not seen it, I feel like this is... probably one of the best comedies pre-2010, like 2000s to 2010. I think this is probably one of the top comedies of that time.
So here's the thing it's really weird. I feel like if I would have seen this movie when like 2021 and had nostalgia for it, I feel like I would have enjoyed it more. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. Maybe I'm just becoming an adult. Like, I thought it was, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it.
This is Ben's Animal House.
I think it still kind of fits with, like, I'd put it in the runnings with, like, Anchorman and, those kind of 2000s movies that, Will Ferrell did a lot of, Anchorman, Talladega Nights. I'd put this in there with those movies, but I just think because I don't have the attachment to it, that it was harder for me to sit and really kind of put into perspective where it would rank in 2000s comedies.
I could definitely see that. Because it's like if you grew up on, like, Will Ferrell movies and that sort of stuff, I definitely think you think higher of it today. For me, I would put this up there with, like, Superbad. What else came out? There's, like, Hot Rod came out around this time, too. Which is another solid, just great comedy.
Great movie.
Step Brothers, was that before 2010?
I think Step Brothers was
2009.
It was right around there. It would have been pretty close.
I'm kind of surprised Will Ferrell isn't in this movie.
Dude,
I'm surprised he doesn't at least have a cameo. Because let's be honest, we could have all seen, instead of it being a small Asian kid that runs the camp, we all could have seen it being Will Ferrell, right?
Yeah.
We all could have seen that being Will Ferrell. And everyone would have just been like, yeah, it makes sense. It fits. I love it. You know who else I'm surprised? Because it's a Ben Stiller movie, I'm surprised the cast list did not include sub out Matthew McConaughey, sub in Owen Wilson,
So
sprinkle a little Vince Vaughn in there somewhere. Then it has the makings of a true Stiller movie.
So a sort of fun, not so fun fact is Owen Wilson was actually supposed to play Rick Peck.
Oh!
This was right around when Owen Wilson tried to commit suicide. So Ben Stiller subbed him out and put Matthew McConaughey in. I liked it a lot. Really bummed that I did not see this movie when it came out because 15-year-old Zach would have just loved this movie so much. If I saw this the same year that I saw Step Brothers, I mean, that 2008, 2009 would have just been incredible. I'm really bummed I missed out on it. I sort of see what Ben's saying, where you feel a little old seeing it for the first time. But it was still pretty good. It's definitely enjoyable. I will easily recommend that people watch it. I mean, it's a great comedy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Is this in, like, 30 years, are we going to be trying to convince people that Tropic Thunder is one of the greatest comedies, like, you know, the older generation tried to tell us Animal House was great? Yeah, absolutely. This is our generation's Animal House.
I don't know about that.
You guys shat all over Animal House for a couple of things that were deemed socially acceptable then. And in the case of where we are now, there were already several things in Tropic Thunder that were not okay.
I don't know if in 2008 it was okay for Robert Downey Jr. to do blackface.
No.
I feel like that's a 2001 thing.
Yeah, that's a Wayans thing, but like Downey Jr.
Wayans brothers.
Yeah, I don't know.
I took a new respect for this movie after I started working in film, because there's like subtle like jokes and jabs that are just always like so funny to me. Like the Cody's, he's at the end he's like, man, I'm getting into catering after this job. just stupid like things like that. The frickin' Tom Cruise.
He was one of my favorite characters.
Oh yeah, him and Jay Baruchel. Like,
oh yeah, well, as soon as I saw Jay Baruchel's character, I figured he was gonna be like we need someone to like buoy this. So like Jay, that's just gonna be your kind of thing. So like
everyone else is just gonna go off the rails, and
yeah, you need to kind of carry this when you can. And he's like, okay. But fucking Danny McBride playing Danny McBride, I love. Like you said in Hot Rod, he's just almost the exact same character.
Yeah.
He's the same character in Eastbound and Down, and it's always fucking great. You weren't even in Vietnam? Lying about being in Vietnam?
He's got hands!
It's like taking a piss on the American flag.
He's got hands. He killed Damien. he almost blinded Jamie Lee Curtis.
Did you even serve in the military? Yeah, I was in the Coast Guard in sanitation. You were a fucking janitor?
Unsung heroes of the movie was Booty Sweat, easily.
The drink or
the drink, yeah.
See, I think that was a joke that like I'm just now like, you know,
the busted nut bar and the booty sweat.
Drink Booty Sweat.
I don't enjoy it as much as I would have when I was younger, and I know it, and I'm not ashamed. Like, young me would have been like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious," and old me's like, "Man, this is come on, guys, can we be a little bit more highbrow?"
Do you know what I think this movie shows us? I think the most obvious thing to take away from the fact that Tropic Thunder got made is that Ben Stiller must just be a fucking awesome guy. He must just be an incredible hang. To get all of these people, from Tom Cruise down to Robert Downey Jr., remember, like, pre-Iron Man Robert Downey Jr., Jack Black, like, just all these characters to come to the set, Bill Hader, and make a movie. The swagger on that guy. Hal L. from Happy Gilmore has just got to be a top-tier person to work with.
I feel like I've heard stories where, like, he's just a genuinely good dude. So I could see that. I can see where, like, he's, like, someone that people would enjoy going and working with. Props to you. Props to you, Ben Stiller.
Yeah, Ben Stiller, if you hear this, let us know. We haven't heard from you in a while. Shoot us a message. We missed you on the pod. We'll have you on in a while if you want to come on. We just had Bill Simmons on. He was okay, but we'd rather have you on.
What about memorable scenes or quotes? I mean, this movie is quotable as hell. I'm sure, having not seen it, it's been quoted to you all the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The entire movie, I was DiCaprio sitting on the couch going, "Oh, I know that. I know what that's from."
You make me happy.
Me happy.
Jesus.
That one. The shit about the TiVo. I didn't know that was from this, but I feel like I've heard that before. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I guess do you need fucking glasses? I guess you didn't read the part where Doug Speedman gets some sort of video recording package.
And
I killed the thing I loved the most.
Oh, I love that scene.
I killed a panda. Amanda? It's okay, man. I doubt that's even her name. What you need to do is get some bleach and some lime.
Some lime? He's like, Brittany, I need you to hop off the line right now. Listen, man. Like, the super chill but intense McConaughey voice.
A panda, like a bear. Oh, man. Don't scare me.
Worried.
Don't scare me like that. It's just like,
every Matthew McConaughey scene is just golden.
Also, the scene where Ben Stiller's doing the movie interview, and they said something about, like, your friends or the people that care about you were worried or whatever, and he's like, people said they cared about me.
Yeah, it was on Tyra, and she's like, somebody close to you said something, and he was like, somebody said they were close to me?
Close to me?
Man, you could easily see Owen Wilson playing that role, though. There'd be a couple more, wow.
I killed a panda bear. Wow.
My favorite, so I'd never seen the theatrical version of this movie. I've always seen, we had the unrated director's cut growing up, and so I've only seen that, which is like 2 hours. So it's like an extra 20 minutes of footage.
Which, can I just say, is weird? Like, would it have hurt this movie being a full 2 hours instead of an hour 45?
No, I think it's a little more together in the director's cut, but you know, maybe they didn't want to take a chance on like comedy, because you know, usually comedies are like an hour and 40, an hour and 30.
I guess it's true.
There's the scene where he's talking to Pecker is talking to Tug. They're like, he's like, "Oh, how's the adoption process going?" And he's like, "Oh, I think all the good ones are taken." And then he's like, "Oh, well, at least you get to choose yours." And then it shows his son, which it does show the son in the credits later, like when they're on the flight back. And it's like shows Matthew McConaughey getting a drink, and it like pans over to his son. but it's like there's like.
Yeah, it just showed I think it showed a picture of him and his son in the movie. Where, like, McConaughey looks super excited and his son just looks like he doesn't care. There's
like another scene where McConaughey's just flipping through a book of like naked women when he calls one time. And it's just stupid shit that they cut out of the movie.
Now, what I want you to do is take a step back
and literally fuck your own face!
What a great line.
The first time I saw this movie, I did not know that was Tom Cruise.
I know. I remember that being a huge thing when people were like, wait, that's Tom Cruise. Holy shit, guys. In all the trailers, that's Tom Cruise.
And people were like, Bradley Cooper.
Oh my god. Because he is fucking hilarious in this movie. And I remember this coming out at the time, like, people, I believe in 2008, I don't quote me, but didn't people really not like Tom Cruise in 2008? Weren't people like...
Was that when he was like jumping on the couch?
It was like 2005 and that like him and Katie Holmes got married. And then like by 2008, people were just like, you know, I really fucking hate Tom Cruise. And then he did this movie and people were like, wow, he's really willing to make fun of himself. And then it was like public opinion started to shift back.
Then he tried to kill Leah Remini.
Well, yeah, but that was just the alien inside of him. Wasn't him.
That was the beast inside of the man, not the man himself.
Sorry, Lord Cthulhu. Please don't send your minions after me.
Dude, you haven't seen my Scientology movie, because they will. They'll be knocking on our doors in no time.
What about when Jack Black's character is like, listen, guys, that's drugs. You gotta tie me up. I know if I go down there, I'm not coming back. So they tie him to a tree, and he starts talking to Al Pacino. It's like, I will literally suck your dick right now. I'll cradle the balls. stroke the shaft, work the pipe, and swallow the gravy. Get it over here, buddy. Let's do this.
He's just like, whatever I say, don't listen to me, because I'll sit there and I'll tell you, nah, man, I'm cool, I'm good. It's all fine. And then later,
now,
he
guys.
says the exact same thing, like, oh, thanks guys for tying me up. I'm all better now. You can let me go. I'm just like, no. But I did love the Al Pacino line where he's like, yeah, Lance. Did you just say Lance? Nah, man. I said, like, Nance. And then they go through it, they're like, are you... No, I said I love pussy.
I said Nance.
And then at the end, he's sitting there with Lance Bass from NSYNC when they showed him that with that and with Jay Baruchel's character with Jennifer Love Hewitt, and then it pans over to Lance Bass. I'm just like, God damn it.
When you were making "I Love the Pussy," were you thinking of dangling your dice on Lance's forehead? Jesus Christ! Oh God! One of my favorite bits is like just so stupid, but it's when they're like walking through the forest. Sandusky's like, well, now if you recall the whole hullabaloo where Hollywood was split into schisms, some studios backing Blu-ray discs and other backing HD DVD. People thought it would come down to pixel rate or refresh rate, and they're pretty much the same. What it came down to was a combination between gamers and porn. Now, whichever format porno backs is usually the one that comes most successful. But you know, Sony, every PlayStation 3 has a Blu-ray in it. And he's like, you talking to me? I was just whoever was listening. Jesus Christ, man.
So that's one that I've said a ton, that people have asked me if I'm quoting this movie, and I've never once tried to. I'll go on a rant about something, and then slowly I'll watch the eyes in the room shift away, and there'll be one dude left, and I'll be like, are you talking to me? And I'm like, whoever's listening.
Yeah, all the time. It's like, yeah, no, I was just, if ears were open.
If you were eavesdropping, I'm not complaining.
That's why I have a podcast.
Who's the actor that plays Kevin Sandusky?
Jay Baruchel.
He's in,
She's
This
Out of
Is
My
the
League.
End, too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
he's best friends with Seth Rogen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great straight man, like new style straight man comedic actor, where you can surround him with whoever you want to, and he sort of just holds it together in whatever scene he's in.
Yeah, he's kind of like, it's weird because I feel like the day of today's comedy straight man is like, it's one of two things. It either goes like the route of The Office, where Jim's like, the straight man bit is always like, looks into the camera to make sure everyone else sees what's going on. Or I feel like the Jay Baruchel straight man, which is like, everyone else sees what's going on, and he's just kind of freaking out about what the fuck is going on, and it's like, am I the only one who realizes the fucking severity of what's going on right now? Like, I feel like even in This Is the End, where like, the house is falling to shit and everything's going on, like, he's freaking out and everyone's just kind of chill.
Ben, you said you had a Nick Nolte story for me.
Yeah, so in I think it was like the spring of 2008, my family went to Hawaii. And while we were there, we did like a cruise, and one of the island stops was, we did like a Hollywood movie tour. And so we're literally driving around, we're looking at all of these sites, and then at one point we stop, and the lady goes, so this isn't really like normally a spot on the tour, but last week here, we almost hit a homeless man. The homeless man was stumbling around and stumbled out into the road. We stopped, like let him pass, and then he turned up and looked at us, and we realized it was Nick Nolte. And it was while he was filming this movie, and he just looked so because I think he must have like, obviously he kept like the grungy ass like look, so they just thought he was some old homeless dude, and he almost got hit by a bus.
Jesus.
Which coincidentally was a Hollywood tour, like a Hollywood movie tour bus.
I've always thought that Nick Nolte plays his role from 48 Hours, like, as himself. Where he's just, like, that drunk, like, the alcoholic, kind of like, doesn't handle his life very well.
Like, have you guys seen Warrior?
No, I
the
don't.
UFC movie? No, not the Warriors. Warriors, like, it's the movie with...
Warrior.
Warrior. It's with Tom Hardy and I can't remember the other actor's name.
Joel
but Nick
Edgerton?
Nolte. Yes, Joel Edgerton. And Nick Nolte plays the dad, and he also plays, like, angry drunk who fucked up his entire life. And I feel like that's just Nick Nolte's typecast now.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
I guess when that's what happens in your life most of the time, that's kind of what your career becomes.
Where do you take your inspiration from? Well,
so I think we know you're really a method actor. So like, when you're trying to put yourself in those situations, what do? I just do it the night before, and then I just try to remember what I have someone else write it down. I'd like to think there's someone who follows around Nick Nolte with like a video camera, so when he gets trashed and does shit, the next morning he like studies game film of himself, so he knows what to do.
I read the script, and then I have a bunch of alcohol and drink heavily. And then I go to work the next day, and
I watch the game tape. Watch the game tape from the night before.
yeah, we'll do it just like the book.
Chapter 26, The Wet Offensive.
The book of Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, you guys read the book?
The flap. I read the back flap. I saw the pictures.
Well, it's okay. It's exactly the same as in the script.
Cool.
You guys don't read the script, right?
I don't read the script. Script reads me.
What the hell does that even mean?
that was hilarious.
When they find out that Ben Stiller's been stolen by like a drug cartel, and they're trying to like sway Matthew McConaughey, and they're like,
All right, you play ball, we play ball. I know you want the goodies. Welcome to the goodie room. You paying attention? Because I'm talking G5 flipping. That's how you're gonna roll. No more frequent flyer bitch miles from my boy.
So are you saying if I let my client die, you'll for a G5 and money? Like a G5 like a plane? Oh yeah. And a lot of money. Like the way he whispers it. The way when McConaughey is like
doing apple bottom jeans. Apple bottom jeans.
Bill Hader is the most like straight man but also hype man in the background, where he's like
Big dick player. Swinging past your knees.
the way he says it is so good. And then later on, you look at Matthew McConaughey and he's looking at the picture of him and Tug, and then he looks at the picture of the G5 owner's manual, and he keeps like looking back and forth, weighing his options.
Or like at the end when he's like,
8 Oscars, $400 million, and you saved Tug Speeding's career. I couldn't have done it without you, Sloan. Really? No, dickhead, of course I couldn't. A nutless monkey could do your job. Now go get drunk and take credit at all the parties. I would never do that to you.
It very much falls in the realm if you enjoy like the random out there humor of the 2000s. This is just the definition of it.
we're gonna go to some ads, and then we'll round out this episode with some reviews, 2 fresh ones. You know we love saving the turts. You know Cam hates fucking paper straws.
Paper straws suck. I will say that paper straw technology has improved since I last shat on paper straws. I have used a couple since I've been able to go out more recently due to being vaccinated. And
that's what they were doing the whole time while we were inside. They were just inventing better paper straws.
I have seen also not paper straws, but it seems like they're compostable plastic straws or something. Like
you're talking about the ones that are made out of like agave or whatever.
I have no idea what the composition of these straws are. I'm just, but they are different.
I'm not a straw expert.
But you're the expert, Dylan.
But I do know a good glass straw when I see one, you know?
Yes. I will say for being at home and where you know, maybe you like straws in your fruity margaritas, or you like straws to mix with your, you know, old fashions or whatever. You know, having these straws around the home is really nice. No, not constantly like throwing things away, or you don't have to keep buying straws all the time. Like you just buy a couple and then you're good.
And if you want cocktail picks or muddlers, they have that too. There's many colors. He's getting into like designs. So like the pride flag, he puts it on like the side of the straw. He's got hearts. He's got critters. It's like you get a piece of art along with a straw. Little multi-use.
Oh yeah, he has critter straws, which have see a dolphin, a salamander. That salamander looks intricate. That is impressive.
Grab some glass straws from Surfside Sips. Use promo code cocktails and classics spelled out for 20% off. We get a little kickback from that, and you get to save some money on some glass straws, and they should last you a long time. Dishwasher safe. They're pretty sturdy. Just don't drop them on the floor like me, like a big idiot. You have to buy more. I've seen this film. The other two haven't. They're going to give you a fresh review, and I'll give you my nostalgia-laden review. What did you guys think on Tropic Thunder?
Definitely a funny movie. I think it is a very well done satire of war movies, of even comedies in general. The cast that's in it is like, it's shocking. If you know nothing about the movie going in, every 5-10 minutes, you'll point out somebody like, how did they get them to do this movie? How did they get that guy to do this movie? It's super quotable. I really enjoyed it. I will probably finish recording this podcast and then go downstairs and watch it again. This movie gets an 8 out of 10.
All right. So, like I said, I feel like I kind of missed the boat on this one. I enjoyed it. I did. It's a movie I would probably watch again. But for some reason, my heart wasn't in it to give it as high of a rating. I gave it like a 6. It's one of those movies I feel like you can throw on and just kind of zone out and enjoy and have it. This is like one of the perfect background movies, because I feel like it's something where you could be doing something and then look up at the movie and see something that you either haven't seen before or kind of pick up something new. I'm sure there's probably subtle things in this movie that if you've seen it more than once or twice, like, you probably pick up on that I had no idea of. That said, I did enjoy it. I liked it. I think it was a good 2000s comedy. I just think with no nostalgia attached to it, it's hard for me to sit and love this movie. I feel like the way I would have had I seen it when it came out. So it gets a 6 for me, but like I said, I recommend it. If you haven't seen it, check it out, especially if you do like those, 2000s Step Brothers, Hot Rod, what was some of the other ones we said? Super Bad, like those kind of movies. I feel like this is up your alley.
Going in, I gave this an 8 out of 10. And I'm going to leave it there. Like Ben said, it probably is like, if you haven't seen this movie, it's probably not going to be as funny because you didn't grow up on it. But for me, this is one that every year and a half, I'm kind of like, man, Tropic Thunder it's pretty funny. I should watch it again. And then I'll end up watching it and laughing, and it revigors me with that, with the humor of it. Great cast. Like, this is probably one of the like A-list comedy casts. It's kind of like Grown Ups before Grown Ups. I mean,
but
except
funny?
Grown Ups is and Grown Ups is like like not
except for Grown Ups
funny Adam
wasn't as
Sandler
good.
Friends. Yeah,
Which it wasn't as good because Chris Farley died a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, like Chris Farley could have been the Jack Black of that movie. Like you could draw comparisons. Some of the humor.
Where would Kevin James be if Chris Farley was still alive, though?
He'd have to get by finding other work post King of Queens. He'd probably still be doing a lot more sitcom work.
Paul Blart 2. Electric Boogaloo. I think there already is one of those, but...
There is. Yeah, I think there's 3 of them, actually.
Jesus. Some of the humor, a little dated, obviously. Like, I don't think you could make a movie like this ever again. It's raunchy. It's wild. You kind of you wouldn't be able to guess what's going to happen next. If you haven't seen the film, I do recommend it highly. 8 out of 10. Watch it if you haven't. Amazon Prime. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to rate and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram at Cocktails and Classics Pod. We post some shit over there, some drink recipes. As always, share us with your friends and family, and watch responsibly.